Hello and welcome everyone. It is Sunday, August 5th, 2018, and time for Jim Comics Top Picks for New Comic Book Day this upcoming Wednesday, August 8th, 2018. And it's going to be a little lighter week this week. I mean, take that with a grain of salt because I've said that a few times and then I come home with a boatload of comics. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But on paper, it looks like a lighter week. But as usual, I'll probably go into my shop and find a bunch of stuff that I didn't have on my list and buy that too. So anyways, it looks like it should be a little lighter week this week. Got some good stuff to talk about. I want to make sure, again, I thank special thank you to all my subs for all your comments this past week. I really appreciate it. Everybody that watches my channel sends me messages. I really appreciate it. I love being part of this community and hearing from all of you, so it's all good. And I just want to clear the air on my little rant that I had, my last video. I want everybody to know that Bruvy DSB sent me an apology. He manned up and sent me an apology, showed some character, and I accepted his apology. And as far as I'm concerned, that has been put to bed, and Bruvy and I are all good. So I just want to make sure everybody's aware that he did that. I also want to point out that the comment was put on CBSI, but in no way does that reflect, should it reflect badly on CBSI themselves. They do a lot of really good work. Topher put some really good articles out there. Dale Valiant Horton put some really good stuff. That's an awesome site. I've been using it. I've been going there for quite a while, and I mentioned them several times in my videos. So I just want to make sure everybody's aware that it was just in one of the chats they had on their site, so it wasn't them personally. So if you haven't been to their site, I highly recommend you go there because it's really good. There's a ton of good information on there. If you do use some of their info in your video, please have some courtesy and give a shout out to whoever it is, if it's from them or me or anybody else. I know most of you do. I've watched a lot of your videos and most people are pretty good. But if you're new to the community and you're starting to do videos, please just give a shout out to whoever you hear the info from. So, because a lot of these people put a ton of work into researching stuff with that. So it's nice to give them a little shout out. Anyways, well, enough of the drama. Let's get into my books. I want to show a couple things from last week. I had this book in the background and somebody asked me what it was. I haven't had a chance to answer all my comments been working the last few days pretty steady here. So, but there was X-Men 289, nothing special about it. It was one I bought back in, I think it was from 92. And I really liked it, so I just put it in the background, but it's a cool looking cover. So again, you know, like obviously I got all the black covers in today. I love black covers, but a nice white cover is good too. And somebody, I was just reading a comment actually just a few minutes ago before I came on here, and somebody asked if the Venom, the one-shot that's coming out it's the Web of Venom, is tied into the Venom series, and yes it is. It's written by Cates, and it revolves all around, in issue 1 you meet Rex Strickland, who was a member of this platoon in Vietnam. And it's going to revolve all around this platoon and the symbiotes they had and everything. So it's definitely going to be tied in to the Venom storyline. It's written by Cates. The cover's by Stegman, who's doing the artwork for Venom right now. And that's going to be really good. So it's a one-shot. The final order cutoff for that, by the way, is tomorrow, the 6th, Monday the 6th. So if it's 1 year shop isn't bringing in, they probably will, because it's going to be, I mean, everything Venom right now is pretty hot, but just talk to them to make sure that if they haven't got enough copies coming in, the final order cutoff is tomorrow. So talk to them today or tomorrow and make sure you get that ordered up. And I also mentioned Venom number 5, that scan variant from Sad Lemon Comics, was supposed to be up for pre-order yesterday. And one of my subscribers, I'm sorry I forgot to write down your name, was talking to the owner of Sad Lemon Comics. I guess he lives in England, and he mentioned that it's pushed back till next Saturday, the 11th now. So if you want to, if you still want it, I'm still going to order a copy, but just want to let you know that that's pushed back till next week. So you won't be able to get that today, or you won't be able to get that right now. But definitely, that's a nice looking cover, and it is his first cover appearance. Somebody asked me that they thought this was on cover 4 is Null, and it's not. It's actually Eddie Brock holding the symbiote in the classic Hamlet pose, to be or not to be. That is a question. It's kind of fitting for the you know, does he want to be a symbiote? Does he not? Anyways, it's kind of cool. So that I don't know if anybody's realized that's what that is, but it's kind of cool. So anyways, We'll get into my books this week. Some good stuff, and one that I'm really looking forward to. This one I've never ordered. It's from Acme Inc. Comics. It's a rock and roll biographies. I don't normally get many of these rock and roll comic books and stuff. Some of them are cool, but I like the Iron Maiden ones. I missed out on those. I wish I'd got those. But this one is rock and roll biographies number 12, and it's Spinal Tap. So they do kind of one-shots on. They've done them on Metallica and Pantera and a bunch of them. And this one is Spinal Tap. And if any of you are a little older like me, you remember this. This is Spinal Tap. That came out in '84. Oh man, is that a classic movie? That's so good. So on a scale, if you've watched the movie, you know what I'm about to, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give this comic an 11. So anyways, you'll get it if you've watched the movie. So go, if you haven't seen This is Spinal Tap, oh man, you got to watch that movie. That's an absolute classic. So that's from Acme Inc. Comics. I highly recommend that one. If you're a Spinal Tap fan, man, you want to get that. Aftershock Comics, I got 2 from them. I mentioned this one a while ago, a couple times actually. Hot Lunch Special number 1 comes out this week. There's 2 covers. There's cover A. I like cover B. The cover B looks a little better, but I'll probably try and pick up both if I can. I ordered it from my shop a few months ago, so hopefully it's coming in. And Relay number 2 is out as well. I think there's only 1 cover for that, but I like that series, and it's... The Fifth Element is the movie. I remember, man, I had a brain fart the first time I was talking about it, and that's the kind of reminds me a little bit of that. But just watched that movie the other day too. So good. Anyways, Relay number 2 is out. Looking forward to that. That's it from Aftershock. American Mythology Productions. One from them that I'm looking at. I've ordered a couple from them over the years, but not a whole lot. But Beast Hunter X number 1. Looks like there's only the 1 cover. It's all dealing with werewolves and vampires, which is great because I mean, you can never go wrong with vampires and werewolves. But it's kind of a twist on it. It sounds like there's a new creature that's actually hunting the werewolves and vampires and killing them off. So I'm going to give that a shot and see what it's like. So I'm going to try and get that one if I can. Boom Studios, Black Badge number 1. It's a Matt Kint, Tyler Jenkins comic. There's 4 covers for that. The cover A and B, I only find the same cover shown for A and B on a few different sites, so I don't know what's going on with that, but apparently there's an A and a B. And then there's a 1 for 20 cover C, and then there's a cover D, and I don't know if cover D is a limited variant as well. I'm assuming it is, but it's basically about a bunch of top secret Boy Scouts taking on covert missions, so it sounds kind of cool, so I'll give that a shot. Matt Kint's, he's done some good stuff over the years. He's done, what the heck has he done? Pistol Whip and Super Spy, and did some writing on Suicide Squad. And just so you know, in case you're not aware, he's got a Kickstarter project going right, Matt Kint does right now, that closes this Thursday, August 9th. And it's a comic and read-along record package. He's surpassed his Kickstarter goal by a long shot, but there's still a few tiers left. So basically what you do is you get a 24-page comic with a 7-inch record. I ordered up the $50 tier, I don't know, I can't remember how long ago, a month and a half ago. And that one is a gold record that's signed by Matt Kint, so that's the one I wanted. I looked last night, there was 1 of those left. Whether or not at the time of this, I haven't looked this morning, so I don't know. But if you're interested in stuff Matt Kint does, it's a kind of one of those limited Kickstarter run comics and record deals. So I don't know, I'm really interested in that one. So if you are, just so you know. Dark Horse has got Predator Hunters 2, number 1, cover A. Both covers actually aren't bad, and then a cover B. I remember buying the Predator comics from Dark Horse back in the, when was that, early 90s? Either late 80s or early 90s. I got to try and dig those out of one of my boxes. They're cool looking covers. So that one looks cool, so I'm going to get that. Golden Apple Books. There is Blastosaurus number 1. Now, I have never read this, but apparently it's a New Zealand number 1 selling all-time comic. So it's being relaunched and branded as a new series. It's adventures of a 6-foot mutant triceratops, so it looks kind of interesting. And it's kind of along the lines of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so if that's something you're into, you might want to try and look at that. And it's probably going to be a lower print run on that too, so if that's that might be a good one. Have to wait and see. I mean, it may go nowhere, but you never know. Going to take a look at it. Got 2 from Image. Death or Glory #4. I'm really liking that series. 2 covers for that. Again, you got a cover A and a cover B. Another one from Image is Farmhand #2. I enjoyed the first one. It's a little odd, but I'm going to give it a few issues. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get into these, but definitely going to look into that. So that is it from Image. On to DC. Detective Comics 986, cover A and cover B. Karma, that villain's in there again, and Brian Hill, man, he's doing a good job. I'm really liking Brian Hill as a writer. He's good. And he's got another comic I'll talk about too coming out this week. So anyways, Detective Comics, picking that up. Immortal Men #5. Of all the New Age of Heroes stuff from DC, I really like that one. And Jim Lee's involved in that, so I'm going to definitely pick that one up. Sandman Universe #1 comes out this week. There's a ton of covers for this. You know, it's up to you what you like. The only 2, I'm only going to show 2. And those are the 2 I'm going to probably get are cover A, which is just obviously your regular cover A, and then cover C, which is a Jim Lee cover. I really like that one. There's again, like I think there's about 8 covers for this thing, but I'm only picking up the 2. I bought Sandman. I remember buying Sandman back when it I don't even remember when that was, 80s or 90s, whenever that was. And I bought a few issues, and I wasn't the great. I couldn't get into it, but well, I'll give it a try again and see if I can get into this. So, Catwoman #2. I'm only buying the B cover for that one, and the first issue was okay, and we'll have to see how this goes. I may drop it after this issue, but I really like that cover, so I'm definitely going to grab that. Flash 52. Again, only one cover that I like for that is cover B, and it's probably going to be the only one I pick up. Will be cover B for that. Superman #2 is out this week, and it looks like Brian Bendis is bringing back Nuclear Man. And if you don't know who Nuclear Man is, there's an image of from the 80s. I think it was, oh geez, when was that movie? 1984, early 80s. Anyways, this quest, Superman 4. What a crappy villain that guy was. Basically, Superman's DNA was put on a nuclear missile and fired into the sun, and then that turned into Nuclear Man. And what he looked like he was from a hairband, and they just stuck a cape on him. But anyways, he's being brought back. I guess Bendis in a tweet said he put him in as somebody bet him that he wouldn't bring him back, and he did. So he's in this issue. I got an image of the actual sketch of Nuclear Man. He looks kind of cool in the sketch. So we'll have to see how it goes in this issue and whether he does a decent job with it. But I just want to let you know that he's coming back, so you might want to pick that one up. That looks kind of interesting. Sideways excuse me, #7's out. I like him Sideways, and it looks like he ends up going into the dark multiverse. So he's off on a little mission out there. So that sounds interesting. I like that whole dark multiverse and the doors that's opening up. So. Plastic Man #3's got a really nice cover. I like the cover on that. And apparently he's dealing with a new secret society, so it's possible you got a new secret society showing up in Plastic Man #3. So not only do you have a nice cover, but possibly a first appearance there. Suicide Squad 45. There's cover A and cover B, and Amanda Waller is after something hidden in Atlantis, and it sounds like she may find it. They may find it in this issue. So I'm going to pick up a copy of that because that may be something important in there. And that's it from DC. From Marvel, I got Amazing Spider-Man cover A and cover B, and it sounds like the Tri-Sentinel is being brought back in Amazing Spider-Man this week. So Tri-Sentinel died at issue 352 way back in the 90s. So haven't seen the Tri-Sentinel for a while, so I definitely pick that up and see what's going on with that. And the big relaunch this week, as you're all well aware, is Fantastic Four #1. Again, if anybody from Marvel's listening to this, please stop putting out 50,000 covers every time you relaunch a book. Like, it's just getting ridiculous. It reminds me so much of the 90s when everything was in poly bags and trading cards and foil covers, and like, just stop it already. Like, put out a few covers, but good Lord, getting ridiculous. Anyways, I'm only going to pick up a few of the covers. There are some very nice ones out there. I'm only going to show the ones I'm going to get and the one I recommend you get. So Cover A, obviously I'm going to grab that. I always try to get the cover A's. There's the 4 Artgerm covers. Each one depicts one of the Fantastic Four. So you got Reed Richards, Sue Richards, you got the Thing, and you got the Human Torch. I really like that Human Torch one. That's a nice looking cover. And the one I recommend you get out of all of them is the Ramos cover, which is cover P. And that is technically the first cover appearance of Eradikus, who is the new villain showing up in Fantastic Four #1. Now I know Chris over We Love Comics, he did a video on, there is an aftermarket variant with Eradikus on the cover. It's a really nice looking cover. I can't remember who puts it out. It might be Unknown Comics or Comic Exposure or somebody, but this is an actual Marvel cover with her on the cover. So to me, I'm going to get the Marvel issued one over an aftermarket one, even though they're both the same comic. Technically, I guess they could both be considered first cover appearance, but I'm going to go with the Marvel one. And I want to pay cover price. I don't want to pay $30 for it. So, you got to remember Dan Slott's writing this. So, no offense, Dan Slott, but your writing sucks. And Old Man Logan #45 comes out. And that's a continuation of that storyline with Bullseye and Vendetta or Shadow Tracer, whatever we're going to call her. And this, I mentioned Brian Hill's writing. He's doing Spider-Man Annual #1 is out this week, and he's the writer for that. And I really like his writing, so I'm definitely going to pick that up. And that's going to be kind of an honorable mention because I don't know what he's going to bring into that. I kind of expecting something coming in there, so we'll see what happens with that. And then last one for Marvel is, two more. I got Daredevil #606. Because it looks like Mike Murdock is back in the fold with Daredevil, and that's kind of weird because I remember, I'm pretty sure it was Daredevil 40 or 41. He was killed off. And Mike Murdock's his twin brother, so yeah, I don't know how that's gonna play out. But anyways, Daredevil 606. That looks like a good one to get this week. Recommend you grab that one. And last one is Champions 23 with Man-Thing on the cover. I think I showed this one a while ago, and I thought this cover was for issue 21 or 22, but it turns out it's for this one, 23. And I love Man-Thing, so that is one I'm definitely picking up. So that is it for my picks this week, or the books on my list. Anyways, like I say, I'll probably grab some more that I don't have on there. But as far as top covers go, I got a few. I like the Catwoman #2, the B cover. That looks really nice. Flash Comics 52 B cover as well. Plastic Man #3, that looks pretty nice. The Fantastic Four, the Artgerm, the Human Torch cover, I really like that cover. Man, anytime I can get fire and flames or a really nice black cover like you see on the screen here, I love that. Hawkman #2, I'm probably not going to be picking up Hawkman, but or maybe it's #3. I think it's Hawkman #3 actually out this week, but the second B cover. And also Detective Comics 96, the B cover for that. Man, that's a gorgeous. It's kind of like a drafting background, and then the car on it. It looks like it's sideways and not your typical up and down, or it's a landscape, I should say, not portrait. So it looks really cool. And my top picks this week, I got two. Well, I'll give you 3 picks. I got Hot Lunch Special #1. I'm really looking forward to that one. I think that one's going to do well from Aftershock. That to me is another one of these ones that like Analog and a lot of these comics that come out. I wouldn't be surprised in the next 6 months you hear that getting picked up and made into a show or a movie or something. So grab that one if you can. Fantastic Four #1, the Ramos cover. It's your first cover appearance of Eradikus, and she will be most likely appearing in the book, from what I understand. So if you can only grab one Fantastic Four cover, grab the Ramos cover. Daredevil 606, just because Mike Murdock is showing up in there, and it's gonna be interesting to see how they figure that out. Honorable mentions: Blastosaurus #1 from Golden Apple Comics, and Suicide Squad #45. Just because I'm not sure what's going on there, I don't know what it is that Waller is hunting for in Atlantis, so I'm gonna recommend that one. And one that I have to get, it was the first comic I mentioned, just because I'm old and I love the movie, is Rock and Roll Biographies #12, Spinal Tap. Man, oh man, you cannot go wrong with that. So anyways, that's it for my books. And now I got a few spec books for you. The last few weeks, my prices got a little high. I'm trying to keep the price down around $20 for spec books. So I got a few here that are in around that price. This is one you can find. It's pretty common. It's not hard to find. It's Darkhawk #1, and that's from early 90s. So it's his first appearance and origin, and that's pretty cheap. I mean, it's I think around 20 bucks. I'm not 100% sure, but that's a good one to get. It's not hard to find, and you never know what's going to happen with Darkhawk. I'm thinking they're going to bring him into the fold a little bit more, so good one to get. Detective Comics #1. Now there's a bunch of printings for this. This is a first print. I think there was 5 or 6 printings for this Detective Comics when they relaunched it in 2011. And this is the first appearance of the Dollmaker. So that's a good one to get. That one again is I think around 20 bucks, $20 range. So I'm trying to keep them in that range. Excuse me. This next one's a little more, but it's a really, I'm so surprised this is not higher. This is a Mega Man #3. It's the first appearance of Lobo, and I really think he's going to have a bigger role going forward with DC in their movies and shows. He's supposed to be in some of the TV shows coming up this fall, and it's only a matter of time before he makes it big on the screen. And he's a cool, kick-ass character. So, and he just got a Suicide Squad. He just picked up something. Damn it, I can't remember what it was, but it gave him all his more power. I gotta look. I'll mention that in my next video. But it's he got some more powers and stuff. So he's a cool character, and I highly recommend that book because it's, to me, that's undervalued, huge. And this is one I've shown a couple times, and I'm going to show it again. If you haven't got this book, I highly suggest you go get it. It's God Country #1. This is cover A on the right. This is a blind box color variant. There's also a cover B that came out with, obviously, with cover A. I have it, but I just don't have it out here. But I highly recommend you get that book because Donny Cates has said there's an announcement coming. I thought it was going to come at the San Diego Comic Con, but it didn't. But in his interview with Professor Bill the other day, he mentioned that he said, somebody asked him that, and he said #soon. So it is coming soon. And if it is a movie, and boy, that price is going to double overnight. So definitely grab a copy of that. It's still fairly reasonable. You're going to pay about $40 range for that book in mint condition, so not terrible. Buy it if you can afford it. Don't don't go in debt or anything, but it's a good one to get if you can get it. Print run wasn't huge on it, and it's a really good story. And Jeff Shaw did the artwork of that. Who did the artwork on that whole Thanos run with Kate? So, anyways, that's it this week, folks. Take care, stay safe out there, have fun, happy hunting on Wednesday, and I will talk to you later in the week. Bye for now.